So tell us your name.
My name is Dean Laureles.
What is Laureles? What is that?
That's Mexican.
Is it?
Yes.
Are you Hispanic?
I'm Mexican on my dad's side, yes.
Do you speak Spanish?
Very little.
And you teach GOGI
Yes.
in English?
Yes.
And you teach other courses as well, if I remember right.
Yes.
You're an educator.
Yes.
Tell me how you, with the other things that you teach, how does that differ from GOGI, or how is it combined?
Most things that I'm involved in, they are transformational, better decision making, living a more productive lifestyle. The difference, I think, with GOGI is that it's very simple to apply.
Right.
There's not a lot of big fancy names, big fancy words. It's things that we've been doing all our lives, and now we can just apply a name to what it is that we're doing. One of my favorite tools from GOGI is ultimate freedom.
Well, yeah, you're an educator. You're giving back of your time. Of course you're going to know that tool.
Right.
So talk to me a little bit about ultimate freedom through teaching and through being of service. Talk to me about that.
Ultimate freedom for me is giving back in the groups, sharing with men, and just being a part of their lives, learning more about them. And with GOGI, when we meet in groups, small process groups, it's being able to listen to their stories, watch them through a 12-week period grow and develop into different people. And when you get to be a part of something that's positive, and you see a change in men, and sometimes total strangers who come together within 12 weeks, become friends, build each other up rather than tearing one another down, standing together when they're dealing with issues, whether they're at home, with their families, with their cellmates, or on the yard, and they help each other. And to be a part of that and to see the change, the transformation in these men, it's priceless. To get to be a part of that is priceless.
What does it mean to you to be a leader? You're a very good leader and you're a very good facilitator. I've watched you now for a long time. You're a very good leader and a very good facilitator. How did you gain that skill, and how did you get comfortable and confident with saying, I have something I can teach you, or here's a book, let me help facilitate that? How did you get to that point?
It started for me with being of service.
Okay.
And I believe that every leader should start in servanthood.
Okay.
And it's being of service to men and helping them and caring about them and putting them first rather than myself.
Okay.
And I believe that the servanthood elevates you to leadership status. Being involved in one group after another, learning more, and sharing it with men. And when you start to learn a number of different things, people come to you for help.
So actually, just they'll come up to you during the day and ask you things? Like, what will they ask you?
Sometimes they just want to talk. For me, being a facilitator, being a leader, doesn't just begin and end in the groups. When we have our Friday night groups from 4 to 6, it's wherever they see me, whether it's in the housing units, on the yard, in the education department, the chow hall. When men have questions, sometimes they're dealing with a difficult situation and they just want to talk, and it's a matter of being there and just listening, just talking with them and spending time. Sometimes on the yard, it's walking around for a couple hours with men and getting to know who they are and what their experience is about, what life is to them. And those things, understanding that and the diversity, helps to make for more of an effective leader.
Does education play a positive part or a role in somebody transitioning back into community positively?
You're talking about community out on the streets.
Yes,
I believe so. For myself, education opens your mind. It opened my mind. It helped me to look at things differently. I grew up with believing that what I saw right here was all there was to life.
Oh, really?
With the education, it took the blinders off, and it opened my eyes to so much more that's out in the world, an understanding of people and places and things that I had never even considered before.
What did you believe as a kid that might have been kind of a narrow perspective, and who gave you that narrow perspective?
I believed that men were supposed to behave in a certain way, with the blinders on, and that came from my father, my upbringing with my father. Men are macho, men stand up and they represent themselves, and they get violent if they need to, and that was part of my upbringing. So growing up, that was what I believed, and that led into a life of violence. And I by no means blame or hold my father responsible for any. These are choices that I've made, decisions that I've made as an adult to behave in a certain manner. And throughout education, throughout groups with GOGI, learning that that's not exactly accurate. Being the boss of my own brain. All this time I grew up being the boss of my dad's brain and adopting his philosophies. But now I can put those things away and I think for myself.
So talk to me, what does it mean to be a man now for you? What does that mean?
For me, to be a man today is to, and this is something I ask our groups, because a lot of times that term is thrown, we've got to be a man, got to stand up and do this, do that. What does that mean? For me, it's standing up, it's being accountable, it's being responsible, it's having integrity, honor and loyalty, and doing what's right. That's being a man, and especially when it's not popular. When everybody else, you're standing in the face of adversity, but yet you choose to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. That's being a man to me.
And that's who you are today.
It is.
So you are a living example of what you're hoping they learn.
Well, okay.
You try to be?
Yes, well, I do.
Yes, yeah. And most of the time you're on point.
Yes.
And reality check means?
Well, reality check lets me know that, hey, this is the direction we're moving. Granted, I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. I'm a flawed human being. And for the grace of God, you know, I can pick myself up and dust myself off and move forward. So reality check for me is moving forward and not letting when I do fall, hold me back.
Right. But you're living your life in ultimate freedom through service.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's the ultimate goal of GOGI.
Yes, it is.
And we're very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My name is Dean Laureles, and I am a face of GOGI.